Friends, now we want to start our Dhamma talks on this, as you know, is the Noble Eightfold Path Retreat. Needless to say how important the Noble Eightfold Path is. This is the heart of Buddhism, core of the Buddha's teaching. Only the Buddhas deliver this kind of sermons explaining the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. You all know the Four Noble Truths: suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, and the path leading to the end of suffering. Path leading to the end of suffering, therefore, is absolutely necessary, most important part of the Buddha's teaching. We want to end suffering. We want to end suffering. In order to end suffering, Buddha has given a method, a path, a way. Therefore, it is called the way to end suffering. This also includes ending our karma. We have mentioned, I want to repeat it again and again. This is karma, ending karma. So long as we have karma, we take rebirth, good or bad karma, brings us to another life. And if we commit wholesome karma, we will be reborn with a lot of rewards, wealth, beauty, health, popularity, and so forth. The power, wisdom, all this we gain when we do wholesome karma. And then when we experience them, these most beneficial results, we reflect back and think, boy, I have done something very good. That is why I got all this popularity, property, good friends, good health, and so forth and so on. Why not I do more of that? So that would encourage us to do more of that. Then we do more of it. More generosity, more compassion, more meditation, more practicing metta and so forth. We do all this. Then next life we will be even better. Be born even in heaven. Then we think, what I have done to be born in heaven. Then you do more and you will see you have done wonderful things, wholesome things, and you will do more good things. So if there is an end to that, we don't want to do anything bad because we suffer. When we are born in a better place, experiencing bliss of wealth, health, popularity, and so forth, we become attached to that and do more of that, and we become attached to that too. this merry-go-round without ending in samsara. And Buddha said he would not praise samsara even for a fraction of a second. Just like someone would not appreciate mustard seed size of excrement, how small it is stinky. Buddha said that. Similarly, Buddha loathes, detest existing in samsara even for a fraction of a second. So we must end that. In order to end that, we have to do something else. That is called karma, ending karma. Karma, ending karma is the practice of Noble Eightfold Path. Just remember this, very important to remember this. No matter what else we do, we continue to exist in samsara, whether you believe it in or not, it will happen. That is why Buddha said, Jati Dhammanam Bhikkhave Sattanam Evam Ichcha Upajati Aho Vatamanna Jati Dhamma Asama Nacha Vadano Jati Agati Jati. Those who are subject to birth, after birth, they have all kind of problems. Therefore, they wish, may I not have birth again. By so wishing, you cannot stop that. Because you have laid down the foundation to take rebirth. Once you have laid down the foundation to take rebirth, you cannot dismantle or destroy the foundation without doing something. That something is the practice of Noble Eightfold Path. When you practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you don't have to wish, may I not have birth again. Because it is the intrinsic nature of the practice of Noble Eightfold Path. It naturally happens. And that is why the Noble Eightfold Path is so important and so central to the teachings of the Buddha. This Noble Eightfold Path can be explained in many ways. I focus my talk on a discourse that Venerable Sariputta delivered to explain the Noble Eightfold Path. Friends, this explanation, you cannot beat this explanation. Nowhere else can we find Venerable Sariputta, any discussion or teaching similar to Venerable Sariputta's explanation of the Noble Eightfold Path. Among them, he explained the right understanding, number one. In the Noble Eightfold Path, number one is right understanding. Tell me, what are the right Noble Eightfold Path steps? Sometimes you may not be able to tell us casually the steps of the Noble Eightfold Path. Therefore, let me refresh your memory. You know all these things. I just want you to refresh your memory, because that also is quite relevant to this retreat. Number one, right understanding. called samadhitti. Number 2, right thinking. Number 3, right speech. Number 4, right action. Number 5, right livelihood. Number 6, right effort. Number 7, right mindfulness. Number 8, right concentration. These are the 8. Out of them, today I want to speak on right understanding. Step number 1. Friends, everything else, all other 7 steps follow right understanding. Without right understanding, none of the other steps of the Noble Eightfold Path makes any sense. You cannot practice them. Therefore, in the Noble Eightfold Path, the foundation is right understanding. And this right understanding, Venerable Sariputta explained, in combination, this is a wonderful monk, the wisest among all the wise arahants of the Buddha disciples. He combined this right understanding with the Four Noble Truths and the dependent origination. Four Noble Truths and dependent origination. What else can we say about right understanding? Four Noble Truths on the one hand is the center. Dependent origination is the other part of the center. That means one side of the center is Four Noble Truth, other side is dependent origination. So he combined these two together. See how powerful this karma would be to eliminate our suffering. And see, he explained it in 16 steps. 16 steps. One day, certain amount of monks visited Venerable Sariputta. And after their casual, friendly conversation, when these monks sat down, paying respect to Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta asked, friends, you hear right understanding, right understanding, right understanding. It is translated into English sometimes, right view, right view, right view. What is the right view or right understanding? When you hear the word right understanding, it definitely occurred to your mind, there must be wrong understanding. So we have to make the distinction between wrong understanding and right understanding. Friends, most of the time, most of the people are in wrong understanding or misunderstanding. Very easy to have misunderstanding. Very difficult to have right understanding. So, Venerable Sariputta therefore asked, friends, what is right understanding? This one said, Bhante, we came all the way to see you to learn what right understanding is. You don't know. even though they are monks ordained under the Buddha, still they did not know right understanding. How much more difficult it is for us to have right understanding. 2,600 years after the Buddha passing away. Why we don't have right understanding? Because we have ignorance. Ignorance. Ignorance of the Four Noble Truth, ignorance of right, Noble Eightfold Path, dependent origination. Ignorant. We are so ignorant, even though we may have all kinds of university degrees, we might have matured and grown up and in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on, years old, still we have ignorance. When we say this, people can get upset. I am a university professor. How can I be ignorant? I have so many students who get good jobs. They become doctors, lawyers, engineers. They learn all these things from me. So how can I be ignorant? Friends, in the Buddha's definition, ignorance means one who does not know the Four Noble Truth, Noble Eightfold Path, is ignorant. No matter how many other things they know, science, physics, chemistry, biology, psychology, philosophy, and so forth and so on, they are ignorant. Why they are ignorant? How can we say that they are ignorant? In spite of all this accumulated knowledge, friends, people have suffering. People have suffering. They don't know how to get rid of suffering. They even get angry when we say that they have suffering. I have so many good friends, I have so much wealth, my wife is wonderful, my children are wonderful, my brothers, sisters, parents are wonderful, I am living a very happy life, I'm healthy, strong. How can I be unhappy? How can I have suffering? These expressions themselves indicate that they have suffering. We will discuss this later on. Let me go to the subject. Okay. So when Venerable asked these monks what the right understanding is, they said, Venerable sir, we don't know. Could you explain it to us? Then Venerable said, Sariputta said, okay, then listen. If you want reference to this discourse, I like you to read Majjhima Nikaya Sutta number 9. Majjhima Nikaya Sutta number 9. That's called Samma Ditthi Sutta and translated into English by Bhikkhu Bodhi, Bhikkhu Thanisaro, I.B. Horn, and so forth. So many people have translated it. Bhikkhu Jnanamoli and so forth. So then Venerable Sariputta began to explain the right understanding. Friends, once again I want to say a couple of words before I touch the subject directly. Even if you want to live happy life, family life, you must have right understanding. Husband, wife, children, parents, friends, and so forth and so on. In normal, ordinary, mundane life, you need right understanding. This is my advanced level of right understanding we are going to talk about. But in ordinary life, among two people, if they want to live peacefully, happily, having with cordial conversation and friendship, they must have right understanding. Very simple in ordinary life. It is much more so when we want to liberate ourselves from samsaric suffering. It's much more high level of understanding for spiritual life. And in this retreat, we don't have to talk about ordinary type of right understanding. You can get it from counseling, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, friends, and so forth and so on. In ordinary way of learning and so forth. But this is right understanding of spiritual life. Okay, so Venerable Sariputta said, I repeat what he said. When, friends, a noble disciple understands the unwholesome and the root of unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of wholesome. In that way, he is one of right understanding, whose right understanding is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma and has arrived at this true Dhamma. Now, wholesome, unwholesome as unwholesome, the root of unwholesome as the root of unwholesome. Wholesome and the root, wholesome and the root of wholesome. Okay. And if somebody understands this way, that person, for that matter, for that reason, has right understanding. And who, not only that, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma. Achala Saddha. Achala Saddha. Who aveccha prasada. And therefore has arrived at this true Dhamma. Now, he has confidence. What kind of confidence? Confidence endowed with knowledge is called aveccha prasad in Pali. Aveccha prasad. Aveccha means having knowledge, having understood. What has he understood? He understood unwholesome, root of unwholesome, wholesome, and roots of wholesome. To that extent, this person has knowledge of Dhamma, and he developed faith, confidence in the Dhamma. And this confidence is not just empty confidence or faith or blind faith, not blind faith. This faith is endowed with knowledge. So he's at the very beginning, he's treading the path that prepares him to eliminate suffering. And therefore, this person has arrived at the true knowledge, meaning right understanding. Okay. Then Venerable Sariputta asked, and what friend is unwholesome? And what is the root of unwholesome? What is the wholesome? and what is the root of wholesome. I avoid to say anything in Pali in order to save time. Otherwise, all these are given in Pali, and we are uh, very much like to quote Pali. I restrain myself. What is unwholesome? Killing living being is unwholesome. Killing living beings is unwholesome. You may give all kind of excuses to kill living beings. No matter what kind of excuses you give, killing is unwholesome. I don't want to go into the details of excuses, reasons. I leave them alone for you to think. But in brief, I must say, for any reason, we kill any living being, that is unwholesome. Taking what is not given is unwholesome. You might sometimes think, I deserve this, therefore I take it. Sometimes you can cheat income tax on income tax. That is also stealing. What belongs to the government we should give to the government. Like that. Then misconduct in sensual pleasures in unwholesome. Misconduct in sensual pleasures is definitely unwholesome for many, many reasons. Even there, I don't want to spend time giving you the reasons of committing what you call sensual misconduct as wrong or unwholesome commitment. Then false speech is unwholesome. Perhaps my next talk will be on false speech. Then I explain it in more detail. Then malicious speech is unwholesome. Harsh speech is unwholesome. Gossip is unwholesome. I'll explain these things in detail in my next talk. So, and then covetousness is unwholesome. Ill will is unwholesome. Wrong view is unwholesome. What are there? There are 10 unwholesome things. 10 unwholesome things. What are they? 3 physical, 4 verbal, and 3 mental. I mentioned. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct is 3 bodily unwholesome actions. Lying, slanderous talk, harsh word, and gossip, these 4 are verbal unwholesome things. Covetousness, ill will, and wrong view are mental unwholesome, 3 unwholesome things. All these are called 10 unwholesome things. Dasa akusala. Dasa akusala. They are all unwholesome. Now remember, whenever Sarithot was explaining what right understanding is, first we must understand these are wrong. We have to make the distinction between wrong and right. And what is the root of unwholesome? Root of unwholesome? Very simple. Greed, hatred and delusion, root of unwholesome. Friends, as I mentioned, even though we are educated, we are matured, we are holding very responsible position in the society, we are liable to commit all these unwholesome things. We are not immune of committing them. Why? We have greed, hatred, and delusion. So, we are fully qualified to be ignorant. Then, what is the wholesome? Abstaining from all these 10. Abstaining from killing living beings is wholesome. Abstaining from taking what is not given to us is wholesome. Abstaining from sexual misconduct is wholesome. Abstaining from telling lies is wholesome. Abstaining from talking malicious speech is wholesome. Abstaining from harsh speech is wholesome. Abstaining from gossip is wholesome. Abstaining from covetousness is wholesome. Abstaining from ill will is wholesome. Abstaining from wrong view is wholesome. So, among them, I want to elucidate one word, covetousness. What is covetousness? Covetousness is a very big word, which means becoming greedy of others' property. When somebody has something very valuable, we eye on it and say, and wish, ah, I wish I have that. That kind of thought arises in our mind very naturally. That is called unrighteous greed, covetousness. And what is the root of wholesome? Non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion. So that already is cleared and put it away for a minute. What is unwholesome? Root of unwholesome. Wholesome, root of unwholesome. This is step number 1. And I said now there are 16 steps. This is step number 1 of right understanding. And Venerable Sariputta used this as the step 1 or one way of explaining right understanding. One way. Even that way alone is enough for a wise person to be a noble disciple of the Buddha. Noble. And see what Venerable Sariputta says. When a noble disciple has thus understood the unwholesome and the root of unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of wholesome, he entirely abandons the underlying tendency to lust. He abolishes the underlying tendency to aversion. He extirpates the underlying tendency to the wrong view and conceit. Conceit, I am. And by abandoning ignorance and arousing the true knowledge, he, here and now, makes the end of suffering. In that way, too, a noble disciple is one of right understanding. whose whose understanding is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, and has arrived at this true knowledge, true Dhamma. Now, if one understands these two segments, wholesome, unwholesome, wholesome root, unwholesome root, for that matter, this person becomes knowledgeable, noble disciple, and use this knowledge for that person to get rid of his suffering. And he will have, he will destroy all his underlying tendency to lust, kama sava, underlying, and abolishes the underlying tendency to aversion, what do you call kama sava, and what do you call hatred. Read hatred, underlying tendency, and expiate the tendency to wrong view and conceit. Ditti mana anusaya. Ditti mana means I am. Why we commit all these unwholesome things? Because the notion of I am. I need this, I know I need to kill to eat, so I eat, I kill. So the I becomes the center. Asmimana, I am. And when he understood all these things, he compared himself with others. That being doesn't like to be killed, just like I. I don't like to be killed. So he put himself in that killing being's place and abstain from that. So he becomes selfless in that, to that extent, selfless. And abandoning ignorance. All kind of reasons the person gives for killing, stealing, and so forth, all reasons he completely to abandon. And then, by giving up those, he arouses true knowledge, and he, here and now, makes an end of suffering. When one ends the wrong view, conceit, greed, hatred, and delusion, what else we have to do to end suffering? By practicing this first step, one can end suffering. And this is one way of explaining the right understanding. One out of 16 ways, this is one way. Second way, so whenever Sariputta is getting, it is just like going into the ocean. At the beginning is very shallow. And you go further and further, the ocean becomes, you feel the depth of ocean. When Sariputta was explaining, first gave very simple things. Anybody can relate, anybody can understand. Now he delves into the depth and start giving next step, next way of explaining the right understanding. When friends, he said, step number two, the way he explained, second way. When friends and noble disciples understand nutrients, nutriment, the origin of nutriment, cessation of nutriment, and the way leading to the cessation of nutriment. In that way, he is one of right view, right understanding. And he said the same thing as has arrived at this true knowledge, true Dhamma. Now, there are four kinds of nutriments. But before explaining four kinds of nutriments, he explained the four steps of the nutriment. Four steps. Number one, the nutriment. Then the origin of nutriment. Does it bring something invaluable in your ear? Origin, and then cessation of nutriment. And the fourth, the way or the path leading to the cessation of nutriment. Does it ring any bell? Yes. Four noble truths. At the beginning of my talk, I mentioned, he explained the right understanding in relation to four noble truths. Nutriment, origin, that is nutriment, suffering. Origin of nutriment, origin of suffering. End of nutriment, end of suffering. Path leading to the end of nutriment, path leading to the end of suffering. So, four noble truths. Now, what are the nutriments? Actually, all living beings must have food. This in Pali is called ahar, food. Although we use the word nutriment, that also food. All living beings need food. There are 10 questions that was put to a Samanera, one who is going to receive high ordination. I think the Sopaka, when he gave him a high ordination, he asked 10 questions. Number one, he asked, what is want? When this question is put to an ordinary person whose wisdom is not matured, grown, he may be confused, puzzled. What is one? This Samanera said, Sabbe Satta Ahara Kritika. All living beings exist depending on nutriment. All living beings need food to exist. And therefore, food also is very important factor. And what is nutriment? What is the original nutriment? What is the cessation nutriment? What is the way leading to cessation nutriment? There are four kinds of nutriment for the maintenance of beings that already have come to be and for the support of those about to come to be. Bhutananga Sattana was Sambhavesi. Nutriment is necessary for those who are already born to continue their life and those who are coming into being. That means in eggs, mother's wombs, and so forth and so on, they too need nutriment. We all had nutriment in our mother's womb. Mother has to eat for 2 people, drink for 2 people, take medicine for 2 people. So she got nutrients and gave us while we were in the mother's womb. And egg-born beings get their nutriment when they are in the egg. and so forth. Without that, they don't live. And so there are 4 kinds of nutriments. What are they? Physical food as nourishment, gross or subtle. Contact, the second. Mental volition as the third. Consciousness as the fourth. Uh, these are the 4 kinds of food. Material food, solid or liquid. That kind of food. Then contact. Through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, we contact the world. That also is a food. Then thought, mano sanchetana, and vijnana. All these Buddha considered to be food. And whenever Sariputta repeated what the Buddha has already taught as food. And they all are absolutely necessary for our survival. That is number 1. That is what, in terms of Four Noble Truths, in terms of what suffering is. What suffering is. Then, what is the what is the cause of nutriment? Cause of nutriment is craving. With the arising of craving, there is the arising of nutriment. This also explained in terms of dependent origination. Imasmin sati idang hoti. This being, this is. This being, this is. Craving, arising of craving, there is the arising of nutriment. Depending on craving, nutriment arises. Nutriment doesn't go into our body without craving. When you use the craving, sounds very heavy word, without desire, without liking. When we are hungry, desire arises to eat. When you are thirsty, desire arises to drink. When you are sick, desire arises to have medicine. And so forth. So the desire is the cause of nutriment, depending on desire we consume. Then, and contact is the second, what you call the craving is the cause, and then when craving arises, nutriment arises. Desire, suffering ceases. The Four Noble Truth. And the way leading to the cessation of nutriment is the same Noble Eightfold Path. Now, this is the second way of explaining right understanding, right view. And whenever Sariputta repeated the same passage again and again, you see, that is what we have to. I just started talking on the right understanding. They rang the bell. What can we do? Let me conclude this section. This is the passage whenever Sariputta repeated. When a noble disciple has thus understood the nutriment, the origin of nutriments, cessation of nutriments, and the way leading to cessation of nutriment, he entirely abandons the underlying tendency to greed He abolishes the underlying tendency to aversion. He expatiates the underlying tendency to view and concede I am, and by abandoning ignorance and arousing the true knowledge, he here and now makes an end of suffering. In that way, too, a noble disciple is one of right understanding or right view, whose view is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma. This is the passage he repeated in the first section. He explained right understanding. Now there is the first way of explaining right understanding. And the same passage he repeated here after explaining the right understanding the second way. So I mentioned Venerable Sariputta explained right understanding in 16 ways. Now we discuss only 2 of them. Now you can understand how profound they can, slip away, slide down, slide away. It's very deep. Even this entire retreat can, my talk can develop on this because it is so profound. But since we have Noble Eightfold Path retreat, he will talk about the next one this afternoon. Tomorrow morning I'll speak on the next one, right speech. Okay, friends, that's all I can do today, and have a very wonderful day.